Now, the Member of Parliament for Adaklu constituency, Honorable Kwame Governs Agboja, and the Member of Parliament for Kumbungu, Ras Mubarak, are backing calls for the closure of Parliament for at least 2 weeks. Now, they say there's no urgent business to warrant the continuous sitting of the House.
For the House to shut down, you know, because 15 members of staff and 13 members of staff and 2 MPs have tested positive. That is serious, looking at the close proximity of the chamber within which we work, you know, and that also underscores the urgent need for everyone, every other MP and staff who works in Parliament to avail themselves for the necessary tests to be done.
What do you mean by there not being urgent business, based on which it may be okay for the House to shut down?
There's currently the consideration of the education regulatory bill, which is fraught with a lot of controversy. If you look at today's order paper, for instance, presentation of papers.
Nothing COVID-19 related.
Nothing COVID-19 related. You know, you've got an education regulatory bill 2019. So that's just about it.
And so for you, all of this can wait for at least 2 weeks when the
all of this
House
can wait for about 2 weeks. You know, the visa waivers. I mean, the committee could be dealing with it whilst the House is on break. You know, I mean, just take a look at the order paper for today. I don't see anything that is of urgent nature to warrant members of Parliament to continue to expose themselves to the dangers of coming into contact with persons who may have COVID-19.
Of confirmation that 2 or 3 colleagues, in addition to other staff, have COVID shouldn't be taken as a surprise. Parliament is a house of the people, so a lot of the public, we interact with the public. I was in my constituency the whole of last week. I returned only part of Sunday. So we are not a group of people who are in a cocoon somewhere that can be protected that way. It's not a killer disease, though we all have to play our roles, follow the protocols to minimize the potential of catching COVID.
Is it about time Parliament closed down?
But it's terrible. 15 people in this environment. You know, we all go through the same, in the same corridor.
25.
It's not going to be easy. People touching the walls. I haven't seen anybody cleaning handrails regularly in this house. I haven't seen anybody cleaning door knobs or anything. So yourselves included, you are at risk. You may take the necessary protocols as much as possible. To close down Parliament, the government made us aware that we must do a sacrificial job for the nation because some decisions even have to be taken even in the era of COVID. So I'll leave that decision to leadership and the government. If they say we should, we made that call long ago as a minority and the government ignored it. If it's getting worse, maybe we have to revisit that proposal.
Let's go back to Parliament now, and Joseph Opoku-Gakpo is standing by. We went earlier to Parliament where some members were asking that the House is shut for 2 weeks. We heard Ras Mubarak speaking there. Kwame Governs Agboja, who is the Member of Parliament for Adaklu, has also been speaking. Let's go to Joseph for the latest. Joseph, what more have we learned from the floor of Parliament? When we establish contact with Joseph, we'll go there. But in the meantime, the landlord who shot and killed his tenant over rent issues has been remanded in police custody by the Abeka District Court to be tested for COVID-19. Victor Steve Nana Kankam, in an interview with JoyNews Monday, justified his action, claiming self-defense. The incident has been linked with the failure of the deceased to move out of a 2-bedroom apartment rented from the landlord. The suspect was provisionally charged with murder to allow police to investigate the matter further. We'll begin telling this story with a wrap of what happened yesterday in court, but first, let's speak with Joseph Opoku-Gakpo. Joseph, what more have we learned from the House? Joseph, if you can hear me, what more have we learned from Parliament today?
A number of things have been happening on the floor and even right here in Parliament House. On the floor, some MPs have been criticizing how come their colleagues did put out details on the fact that there have been some tested positive COVID-19 cases right here in the House, including Dr. Bernard Okoboy, who says that decision should be left solely to the individuals to make, and that as a collective institution, no one has any business putting out some of those details. But for others like Samuel Kudjeto Ablakwa, who is the MP for North Tongue, and Joseph Hilechire, who is the MP for Wa West, Parliament needs to be a bit more sincere when it comes to putting out details on whether or not there are COVID-19 cases in the House as a way of fighting the whole issue of stigmatization.
So what is the status, Joseph? Is it a consensus that there are persons who have tested positive in Parliament?
It appears so that right from the confirmation that's coming from Muntaka Mubarak, there's not been a counter denial of that, and those specific details as Muntaka Mubarak has come out to put across. So it actually does appear so that that confirmation has come, because to be honest, Daniel, more than 600 people have tested for the cases of COVID-19 in the House. About 690 samples have actually been taken. It's interesting that I didn't want to come to the conclusion that 0 of those 690 cases tested negative for COVID-19. So it's almost coming through as a confirmation and the reality that there are actually some positive COVID-19 cases in the House. And even in the interaction, some additional details we're getting is that the said 15 cases are coming from the samples that were taken on Wednesday and Thursday. The samples that were taken on Friday, the details of that haven't emerged yet. So the indication is that the figures could be a little higher in terms of how many folks, both MPs and others, who have tested positive for the virus in the House.
Interesting story there that we are learning. So have we gotten to a consensus on this issue that has been put forward by Ras Mubarak and Kwame Governance Abuja, their call for a further suspension of matters in Parliament? Right, we'll get Joseph back and then get the details of that story, but you heard it here. On Parliament, it's been confirmed. Lord Mr. Mubarak Muntaka told us earlier today that indeed some positive cases have been recorded from members of Parliament. You're live on JoyNews today with me, Daniel Daze. Stay with us, there's more when we come back. They're live on JoyNews today. Now, Adaklu Akakpokope residents survive on unwholesome water from frog-infested dam in the Volta region. Now, the residents of this town and surrounding communities in the Adaklu district of the Volta region are challenged with a lack of potable water. Due to this, they are compelled to rely on the frog-infested water from a dam they dug for themselves for domestic use.
Adaklu Akakpokope is one of the satellite settlements in the Adaklu district of the Volta region. Residents here solely depend on farming to support their livelihoods. For many years, residents of Akakpokope and its surrounding communities have been suffering the lack of access to potable water. Efforts by philanthropic organizations and the government to curb the water challenge has been unsuccessful. 2 wells constructed in the community couldn't produce water, while a borehole provided had also broken down. Due to the inability of the residents to raise about 1,000 Ghana cedis to repair the borehole, they decided to construct a hand-dug dam to conserve rainwater. It has since been the only source of water in the community. Though water in the dam is infested with frogs, the residents have no alternative but to rely on it.
emi le ngo foge ko yi tome akpe ɖe me anye le tɔme akpe ɖe me afi akɔ gbɔ fifia wo ba de pipe ɖe dɔgakɔƒe ye mi yi adze vɔ ne mi dzi gbɔ la le ke dze si ta mi mete ŋu kɔ nyana eŋu ɖeviwo be ŋu o ta ne sukuyiwi ɖo ku ɖa ya ɖeviwo te ŋu kpena fu le tsi be nyame gaɖo me ka fɔtewo miaklɔ no afi woayi ɖe sukua ta tsi be nya ele fu ɖe ne mi ŋutɔ le afi ya.
Realizing the plight of the residents, the assembly member for Toda electoral area, Samuel Atomi Dope, on some occasions supplied the community with potable water. This he does at his own cost.
So in fact, during the dry season for about 6-7 months, they have been suffering from water problem. Sometimes I use my tricycle to supply them with water, but because the number of the people around there is quite large, it has not been sufficing. So in fact, if government or any benevolent group can come to their aid, I'll be very happy about it.
Nonetheless, the Daklu District Chief Executive, Fanuel Donko, promised the borehole would be repaired in earnest to salvage the water situation in Akakpokope and its environs.
We have 91 communities making Daklu District, and I can say confidently that every community in our district can boast of a mechanized borehole or a manual borehole. It is true some are faulty, but we are in the process of repairing them so that they will get access to potable water. In just last 2 weeks, we've been able to mechanize a borehole for Vudede, Adaklu, Peleho, and 2 other communities. Last year, we mechanized 5 boreholes: Opogaji, Toda, Asiadu Kofe, Ahong Kofe, and one of the communities. So when it comes to water delivery, we are doing our best to make water available to our people. Atapo Kofe is a very friendly community. They told me they have problem with their borehole. We are in the process of sending a contractor to go and assess the situation and advise management how to do. We believe once water is life, we believe every community should have access to potable water. And going forward, I think by next week, that problem should be rectified so that they'll have access to potable water.
Fred Kwame Asari, JoyNews, Adaklu, Akakpokope.
Back to Accra, you're still live here on JoyNews today with me, Daniel Dadzie. Coming up in business, all marketing companies hold prices of fuel despite dwindling margins. But for how long? Daryl Kwao has details after the break. Now, there's heavy security presence at the Electoral Commission as the Inter-Party Advisory Committee meets to determine the way forward regarding the compilation of a new voter register and conduct of this year's general election. My colleague Parker Wilson joins us live from the Electoral Commission with the latest. Parker, describe the scene at the Electoral Commission. I can see already so many police officials there.
Hey! Is this what we do?
Connection with Parker Wilson, but as you can see in your shot, that's the premises of the Electoral Commission. I can see more than 20 police officials in our shot, heavily armed with bulletproof vests. You can see the armored vehicles belonging to the Ghana Police Service stationed at the Electoral Commission headquarters. All of this is because the Inter-Party Advisory Committee is meeting today. Now, already we would speak to Parker in a very right. So we have Parker on the line now. Parker, which political parties are present at the ongoing IPAC meeting?
Right, so Daniel, we know that the CPP, the Eagle Party, the NPP are all present in today's meeting. And we are told that the Electoral Commission is briefing the political parties on their preparedness towards the mass registration exercise or the completion of the new voters register, as we all know. Now, just behind me is the entrance of the Electoral Commission, and as you can see, there are police presence here, heavy security presence here. They have about 3 or 4 vehicles stationed at the Electoral Commission, and the leader of the team, that is ACP Kosifori, who was here a while ago, declined to speak to the media as to why they have deployed over 60 policemen to come and provide security for the AC whilst the IPAC meeting is going on. And we do understand that the police officers are stationed at both the entry point and the exit point. So this is the situation here at the Electoral Commission. Then a while ago, the PNC staged a walkout. Now, the reason they gave was that the arrangement for today's meeting is not favorable. The EC called on the parties to come at different times to deliberate on the compilation of the new register. And so for them, it is impossible for all the political parties to agree on a resolution on this matter at different levels. And that is why they decided to stage a walkout. And I'm sure you're aware that the NDC as well also boycotted this meeting, citing the same example or reasons. But the Electoral Commission has told us that the reason they are doing this is to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. And of course, you know that there's a ban on public gathering. So in line with that directive, that is why they decided to hold this meeting in 2 different segments. And so they were willing, they were hoping that the political parties will understand this arrangement and endorse the decision of the commission. But unfortunately, some political parties are not happy with this arrangement and have staged a walkout. So the meeting, the first batch of the meeting is still underway. We are told that it's going to end around 1 p.m. and then the second batch of the meeting will continue. But the EC is briefing the political parties on their preparedness towards the mass registration exercise, Daniel.
Parker, thank you very much for those updates. We'll come back when there's more.